What's going on, buds? Alright, tonight's video is actually going to be I want to say it's going to be at least a 4-part video. This is actually a project video that I'm going to be doing on my Wasr 1063. I've been wanting to work on one of my Wasrs for a while because, you know, Wasrs have a really bad, or they did, for a long time as being one of the, you know, low gutter style, just, you know, junk AKs on the market. And, you know, the washers that I have are some of the earlier models. So they're considered, you know, not very well built. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to do like a complete makeover over my washer. What I want to do, what I plan on doing, and what I actually do may be two different things, but I'm not sure. But what the plan is I want to go ahead. Now, the action on my washer is not that bad, but when I cycle it, every now and then it will hang up. And as I look into it, and I've looked into it very well in the gun, I noticed that the bottom end, which here in a minute we'll get into here, I'll show you, of the bolt, is kind of hanging up on the hammer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, one of the first things I'm going to do, which I've already done on one of them, is I'm going to polish up the hammer a little bit. I'm going to show you how that is done so you can do it the right way without having to worry about taking any kind of material off the hammer. Then I'm going to go ahead, and this is more probably for looks than anything, is I'm actually going to polish the entire bolt and bolt carrier. I'll show you that. Then I'm going to redo the furniture, the wood. I want to do that, restain that. And then I also want to probably eventually get another finish on the entire gun. So anyways, it's going to be a long process. So this is definitely going to be a video when it's all said and done. Who knows how long it's going to take, because the reason why I haven't done a video in a while is because I'm actually going to school now. So I'm trying to, I've got school, and that's taking up a lot of my time on top of my other daily activities. So I definitely don't have the time that I used to have. But I'm definitely going to be doing videos as much as I can. But this video right here, this video in particular with the project, may take a while. This may be, you know, it could be as long as a month to, you know, who knows how long it's going to take. But when it's all said and done, I believe this washer is going to end up being just as good as my Arsenal. So with that being said, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the camera angle, and I'm going to show you the first procedure and the steps and the materials needed to do that, and which is going to be polishing the bolt and bolt carrier and the hammer. So let me go ahead and change the camera angle, and we'll be right back. Alright, so here is my Wasr 1063. Now this is going to be the gun that I'm going to be doing the project on. Now I have another Wasr that is an underfolder that I guess you could say I kind of experimented on in the beginning, and but this is going to be the one that's going to be the project Wasr. Now the Wasr, we'll take a look at the gun. It really isn't. Some of the issues that people were saying they were having with the Wasrs were one of the major things about it was that the front sight was canted or tilted to like either one side, left or right, really bad, and wasn't lined up with the rear sight. Well, this one, I'm not sure how good the camera may pick it up. This one, the front sight is lined up perfect with the rear. I mean, the front sight right in the middle here. It's the this piece right here, right in the middle of the sight, is perfectly in between the two side posts, and also if I look down here, it's perfectly straight. So I guess maybe I may have gotten a good one. I've had this washer. I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is the first AK I ever bought. And so I've shot it several thousand times, or I've put several thousand rounds through the rifle, and I haven't had an issue one iota with it. Another issue that being that this is a stamped receiver, that when these were made in Romania, right here, because it's a Romanian AK, when they were shipped over here, they were only able to accept 10 round mags. And when I believe it's Century Arms, let me take a look here. Yeah, Century Arms got these, and they milled these stamped receivers out so that it'd accept a 30 round mag. Sometimes they didn't shim up when they milled it out. They didn't shim it up too good, so when you would stick a mag in there, you just have a ton of wobble. And I will say that yes, you do have a lot of wobble when you put these mags, whether it's a Tapco. Now I will say this: it's whether it's a Tapco or the regular steel AK mags, you still have wobble. But I will say with the Tapco, being that it's a polymer, I'm assuming it's a little thicker. It's not as much as when you stick just a regular, steel case or steel AK mag in there. So those, have been two of the biggest complaints I've heard about the Wasrs. Also, people talk about the rivets, excuse me, and that, I mean, I guess if you really started, going over these rifles with a fine-tooth comb, you're going to find something with them. But for what they are, I think they're great. Now, even the action on this one, it's not bad at all. I mean, if you take a look, I mean, I'll rack it back and it'll be smooth. No issues with it hanging up. I mean, now, unless I really, really kind of like hold it and kind of make it, kind of like right there, it'll kind of want it. And that's what I was talking about, where the bottom of the bolt wants to hang up on and I'll show you here in a second, the little hump on the hammer. And that's what we're going to smooth out. But even I just barely give it, I mean, it's not a lot. I give it a push and it'll go right back. I mean, so. But anyways, so what I want to do first is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take out the bolt, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and take off the dust cover. Take out the spring. Pull out the bolt. Alright. So, now, if you take a look inside here, where the hammer is, and let me zoom in, that way I'm not just constantly throwing this up at you guys. Let's see, I'm trying to get my orientation correct. Okay. So, let's see, there it is. Alright, so, anyways, with this hammer, where are we at? Okay, I'm trying to, okay, right here. So kind of the light right here, you see how it's light and there's just light on a little square? That is one back side of the hammer. Then if I tilt this over, that should go dark, and the next piece should go light. There it is. Okay, so there is the actual part of the hammer that hits the firing pin, and then, oops, and then there's a bottom part of it right there. Okay, so you kind of see how it has kind of almost like a half circle, but it's not a smooth half circle. It's kind of like edged off right here, and then over here it's edged off. That's what we're going to round out. Okay, now this right here is there's the surface that strikes the firing pin. That's where you don't want to take any material off whatsoever. So when we polish this, what we're going to do is we're just barely going to round off this edge right here and this edge right here. And now, instead of it being blocky, I don't know if that's the right terminology to use, but that's the best way I can describe it. But instead of it being blocky, it's going to be smooth. Now the key to it, like I said, is you got to make sure that that surface I showed you that strikes the hammer, you don't use your Dremel, or you can use a sandpaper. Dremel is going to be easier unless you want to take the hammer out and stuff, which I probably will later. Excuse me. But if you want to take it out, you can. But even if you take it out, you use a sandpaper or a Dremel. You want to use it very lightly, and you want to make sure that, like I said, it's very key and important that you don't take any material off this part of the hammer that actually hits the firing pin right here. Okay, so when the hammer comes up, let me get it from the side view. So when the hammer comes up, boom, and it hits that firing pin, you know, it's not going to be a light strike or anything. It's going to hit it. So you're not going to rough off any of those, or take any material off on that centerpiece. Just the top where it's kind of blocked, and the bottom where it's blocky, and you're just going to smooth it. So now, instead of it kind of being like this, and this, it's just going to be kind of perfect half moon. Except for, like I said, you're not going to take it off in the middle. Okay. And then second is the bolt, the bolt carrier, I guess you could call it. Well, let me take the bolt out. Let me take the bolt out real quick. There we go. So the bolt carrier, I guess you could say, or you know, because this is a piston system, but I guess you could call this the bolt. Now I'm going to take this little piece off. Now this right here is blued. It's not Parkerized, but it's blued. So basically, you know, I guess you could say, you know, this would be your protective coating, I guess you could say, towards, you know, the elements. Well, what I'm going to do is, this is a process of polishing that we're going to do, to where we're not going to take any material. That is key on anything that you do with these. You don't actually, you know, sand or polish to where you're taking material off. That's key. So anyways, we're not going to take any material. We're just all I want to do is take the blue off of here. Okay? Now this is the part of the bolt, or the carrier, that I was talking about, that hits that hammer, that rides along there. So this is definitely going to be smooth. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, first of all, what I'm going to do is we're going to use 2000 grit wet and dry sandpaper. And what you're going to do is you're going to first take it out, and you're going to use, now you're probably wondering why I'm not going to actually do it, because it is kind of a long process. But I've already done one. I'm going to show you. I guess you can see the other AK laying in the back. That's my under folder. I've already done this, and I'm going to actually come back here. Like I said, this is a project video where it's going to be, you know, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6-parter. And but anyway, so what I'm doing tonight is I'm just going to show you what we're going to do, and then the next part, I'm going to actually show you the process. But anyways, so what you're going to do is you're going to use 2000 grit sandpaper, and you're going to use it wet and dry to take off the blue. Now, like I said, because this bluing is not very thick, it's just a light coating. You know, I guess it's on here to protect it from rusting, so on and so forth. But you're going to take in this 2000 grit, and you're going to just go ahead and it's going to take a while. It's going to take about probably 30-45 minutes to do. And you're going to go over this entire surface and take it off. Once you do that, once you get all this off, okay, then you're going to go ahead and by that time, once you've done all of that, you're going to have it's going to look. Like I said, I'm going to show you here in a second what it's going to look like, but I'm trying to talk the steps real quick. It's going to be polished, but it's not going to be what we're looking for, that mirror glossy look. So then what you're going to do is you'll take a Dremel and you'll put your polishing wheel on. And what you'll do is you'll get some polish. What I use is Mother's Compound polish. And then what you'll do is you'll take it and you'll run your finger over it, and you'll take this and you'll lightly just go over this, go over this, and you'll end up eventually seeing it starting to get black again. But that's because of the polish and stuff, and you'll just go over it, and then you'll take a rag, wipe it down, and then you'll finally change out the pad, put out a clean one, and then you'll lightly go over it, very lightly, again, and before you know it, it'll be nice and shiny. Okay, so then the bolt, you're going to do the same way. You're going to go ahead and anywhere where it rides inside, anywhere metal, you're going to pay a little bit more attention, but this whole bolt will go ahead and be, now it's not going to be as shiny as the carrier, but you're going to go ahead and shine this one up too, and polish it, I should say, excuse me. So let's actually take a look, because like I said, I've got one over here. It's an underfolder AK that I tried it on, and it works very well. And I want to show you what the end result is of what it actually looks like when you take care of it, get it all done. So let me move this out of the way real quick. Oh, by the way, like I said, let's just take a look at it. Here's another Wasr 1063. It's pretty much the same gun, except for it's got the underfolder folding stock on it. So let's go ahead and let me show you what I did here. See, what I originally wanted to do was I was just going to do this, but then I thought about it. So you know what? I want to do a complete project on a Wasr. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so folks, here we go. This is what, after you do all what I just showed you, this is what you're going to end up with. Is right here. Now, this has been, like I said, hours, well, not hours, I'd say about it, well, I guess you could say it is hours because of the start and stop time. But if you take a look, I'm hoping, now I've got some light frog lube on here, so it may, but anyways, look at that beautiful shine. Okay, let's take the bolt out real quick, and you can see I've done the entire surface, front to back, side to side, everywhere. Okay, now trust me when I tell you that this is when you do this and you do it right, it's like butter. Your action is so much smoother. I think actually, and to be honest with you, this action is probably even more smoother than my Arsenal. Now, the bolt, when you do the bolt itself, it's not going to be the same color. Okay, that stainless steel color. But trust me when I tell you that this has been polished also. Okay? And so, when you get done doing this process, now what you want to do, if you guys if you guys watched my previous video, my handgun video, where I talked about bomb-proofing your handgun. Now I know the title it may be misleading, but I wanted you guys, it's a title that I feel is catchy, that will get people to look at the video, because basically what it is you're just trying to give a invisible protective coating to your gun. And that's what, if you watch that video, you're doing to the metal of the gun. Well, now, since we did take off the bluing on this, I want to protect this. So the next thing we do after we get done doing the process is you're going to take the frog lube paste, and you're going to do, if you watch that video, you'll know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, bear with me because I'm going to explain what that does. Is you're going to go ahead and take a blow dryer, and you're going to heat this entire bolt carrier hot, and you're going to get it to a point to where you can barely touch it. You know, you're probably going to try to get it anywhere between 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very hot. Okay? And then you're going to take that frog lube paste and you're going to slather it all over this bolt everywhere. And you're going to let it sit for a minimum of 45 minutes, preferably an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And what you're doing is when you heat this up, you're opening up the pores in the metal. And when you put the frog lube paste on there and it cools down, it actually seeps inside the porises of the metal. And now you have a permanent, well, I don't want to say the word permanent, but you have a protective coating now on the metal. If you don't know much about frog lube, YouTube it, and you'll see there's tons of videos of people who have done some really, really good reviews on it. Element reviews where they've, put it on bare metal and set it outside for weeks on end, months on end, I believe it, one video, and how it protects it from rust. So frog lube is very reliable. So taking that bluing on, that bluing off here, you don't have to worry about, oh my God, well, now the integrity of the gun is ruined, it's going to rust now. No, if you do the process completely, you're not going to have to worry about that. Okay? And so that's what I did. After I polished it up, I did that process. And so now, when I put it in the gun, it looks awesome. I mean, it looks really, really cool. Got that mirror glossy look to it. But the key to it, like I said, is to make sure you don't, when you're doing the process, don't get in a hurry. Take your time. Take your time with the sandpaper. It's going to take a while for you to get it to look this way. It's not going to just be a one-time, just sand it real quick, wipe it down, and throw some compound and you're good. It takes a while due to the fact that you're not wanting to you're wanting to be careful to make sure you don't take any material off except for the bluing. So now, as far as the hammer is concerned, I also did the same thing what I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and get the zoom in on that, and I can show you now. I'm probably going to do a little bit more on this hammer. Oh, there she is. But I want to show you the process of what I've started. Alright. There we go. Almost there. Okay. So, here we go. Here's the hammer, right here. Alright, so now, it is rounded. Okay, it's not, okay, but there's still, if you can see right there where the shine is, let's see here, let me get right here, where it's shiny and then it's dark. Right there is that hump that I was talking about. Here is the surface that strikes the firing pin that I've not touched. And then here's the back side of the hammer, right there. Alright, so there's still a little bit of an edge on there. I didn't want to do it all, but I'm going to show you how it does. So I'm going to take the Dremel a little bit more, and I'm going to round this a little bit more, and I'm going to round it right up here. But even with just that little bit of polishing, or sanding I should say, that I did with this hammer, the action is super smooth now. Between doing that and doing this with this bolt, this action is just super sweet. Plus, like I said, it looks freaking awesome. So let me go ahead and put it back in here and kind of show you. And like I said, I'm not finished with it yet as far as the hammer is concerned. I'm still going to do some more with that. Alright, let me get that spring in there. There you go. Alright, so here we go. So besides, like I said, it looking just freaking cool, watch this, like butter. Alright, get that in there. I mean, just beautiful. Now, like I said, it still catches a little bit of the hammer. I can feel it as it comes back, but it slides so much smoother right through it. It doesn't. Now, I imagine if I wanted to, I could probably get it to hang up because it is still got a little bit of ridge on the hammer. But, man, just super smooth. So, anyways. So what I'll do is, on the next part of the video, we'll go ahead, I'm going to show you actually what I talked about, and we'll actually do the process beginning to end on this one right here. And I'll show you what it looks like. We'll go through the entire thing together. And because like I said, this is going to be the Project Wasr. I think that by the time when it gets done, it's gonna be pretty freaking cool, you know. Like I said, I have aspirations and ambitions to do more. I want to do. I want to also, you know, redo the finish of the gun, the body of the gun itself, but that may be a little bit more than what I'm going to be used to. So I'm not sure at this point in time it's what I want to do, but whether or not I am able to do it, you know, it may not pan out that way, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, so, you know, like I say, come along with this journey with me on making this Wasr 10 look freaking cool. It's going to run looking cool. I mean, it's an AK, you know. It is what it is. You know, say what you want to say. You know, one of my biggest thing about AKs is, you know, whether it's, you know, the low end Wasr 10, I guess you could call it the low end, or the beginners, all the way up to the Arsenals, which is considered one of the better high end AKs. An AK runs, man. You know, an AK runs, period. I mean, tons of videos out there of people just trying to get these things to fail, you know, and they run, you know. So I look at it this way, you know, if that be the case, you know, buy you a Wasr 10. Now, the Wasr 10s, because they are a little bit considered to be a little bit better built, they are a little bit more expensive than they were back, say, when I bought these, because they've tweaked some stuff on them now that they got them out. Some of the concerns that people had with the earlier Wasrs, but you know, like I said, I got lucky. Both these Wasrs are good, so why not? You know, why not take this Wasr and put some time in it and make it, in my opinion, as good as any high-end AK-47 out there now, without spending that kind of money. So, and plus it's a project, and you guys get to come along and see me do it, and I'm really excited. So, upcoming videos we got. Oh man, I've got like I said, because of the schooling now that I'm going to, and my other daily life projects that I got going on. It's going to be hard to really do as many videos as I would love to do, but I'm going to try. This one I hear, like I said, is going to be an awesome one. If you watched my AR Big Shoot video, you'll know that I talked about, you know, I did that video because I told you if I ever hit 200 subscribers, I was going to do something like that. And I've thought about it now, you know, what kind of a milestone for me. I know 200 is nothing, you know, to some people, but for me it is what it is, you know. So I thought about it, And it's going to be a stretch, but hey, we'll see how serious people are to seeing some cool stuff. When I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to do something that's going to make the AR shoot look like nothing. And I promise the video will be awesome. Let me just put it to this way, we're going to be blowing up some stuff. So to me, that's going to be freaking awesome and cool. And then I think also I'll probably take out one of my bad boy guns that I've got hidden away that I haven't brought out and shown people. So there it is. When I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to blow something up, and we're going to blow it up in style and fashion, and we're going to bring out a big boy gun. So with that being said, thank you guys, man. I say it all the time in the videos that I'm looking for my remote, so just kind of bear with me on this. There it is. Like I always say, I really do appreciate you guys checking out my videos. I would do them regardless if I had subscribers or not, but it makes it so much cooler knowing that there are people out there who will watch them and appreciate them. There's going to always be haters, it's part of the game, so, which is great, but thank you guys, man. Awesome. And I promise the videos are going to I'm going to try to get better with a lot of the content, but stay tuned. I've got some pretty cool stuff coming up. I promise I do. And you guys won't be disappointed. So until next time, peace out.